Man, the wind is terrible. I mean, the wind is whipping around today.
Look at that, low teens for wind chills on Saturday morning. Some single digits out there to start off the day. And it's going to be bitterly cold all day long on our Saturday. The wind chills will top out in the mid-20s in the afternoon. That's it. I mean, it's going to be that cold throughout the day.
We haven't been able to film much lately because of this bitter cold. So I was fired up to finally get back on the bike. Ever since we bought this BMW, it has cranked every single time. But after I got all my layers on, put on my heated gear, got the camera set, and synced my cardo, I pushed the button and nothing. The week of freezing weather had finally zapped the battery. I was so disappointed, but I wasn't giving up. I jumped it off, let it run for 10 minutes, and then once I was sure it was going to start back up, I hit the road.
All right, so we're in Daphne, Alabama today, and as you may can tell, I'm out on the bike, and I'm by myself. Wendy just said it was too cold for her, and I told her we wouldn't ride at any temperature lower than 35 degrees, and it's 29 today, so I get to do my first solo trip for Bike Sites and Bikes. We have gotten Wendy some gloves that's on order that'll hopefully help her, encourage her to ride in a little bit colder weather. We got actually 2 pair coming. I'm going to try them out. One's by California Heat, and then the other one's by Warm and Safe. The Warm and Safe ones are leather. We're hoping those work. They had limited sizes available, but it's actually a passenger glove, which means it has heat in the palm of the hand, not just on the top. So, looking forward to figure that out. Now, I get my love of motorcycles from my father. He had a 1991 CBR 600 F2 that he rode to work every single day. And he had one rule, and that was if that thing started, he was going to ride it. One day, he rode that thing when it was 8 degrees Fahrenheit, about 20 miles into work. It was so cold that when he got there, the key was frozen in the ignition. He had to sit there and rev the engine for about 10 minutes to get everything warmed up enough to get the key out of the ignition. Now that's 20 degrees cooler than what it is today. But you can definitely tell where I get my crazy. Man, the wind is terrible. I mean, the wind is whipping around today. I know you can hear it. I don't know if you can see those tall grass up there on the waterway here, but they are blowing around like crazy. I've never ridden in wind like this. You see that bag right there is just flying. Debris is everywhere. I mean, it is. Look at the white chops on the waves. It's almost unbearable here. This is terrible. Man, I'm really going to have to concentrate on my driving. I mean, you can probably tell it with the camera, which is normally rock solid. It's not just the camera getting blown around, the whole bike is getting blown around. I mean, it is freezing cold. My chin looks like it's a piece of stinking ice right now. Definitely should have worn a baklava or something like that. That's about as dry as I have seen Causeway.
Primary reason the bay is so low is, one, it's low tide, but two, the northern wind that's been blowing for just days on end now is basically blowing half the water out of the bay.
We're headed over across the bayway today, and since it's a guys only trip, I figure we'll do some guys only stuff. Thought we'd go by and look at the couple of construction sites, take a look at the Mobile Civic Center, how it's being built, take a look at the new downtown airport construction that's going on. It's going to change Mobile in a major way, and then maybe do a drive-by where all the boat maintenance is done at Mobile. Take a look at that.
Check this out. The old Mobile Civic Center is officially history. It went up in '64 and saw everything from Elvis and Led Zeppelin to 60 years of Mardi Gras balls. They started tearing it down last fall. This previous January, a snowstorm finally finished it off when the roof caved in. Now we're looking at $300 million beast. It's going to hold over 10,000 people with luxury suites and a massive balcony for just watching the parades. They're saying it'll be ready for Mardi Gras in 2027. Looking at the size of that floor, I wouldn't be surprised if we see some professional hockey or maybe even an arena football team back in the port city soon. We're looking at the future of travel in the port city. This new terminal at Brookley is a $380 million project designed to bring commercial flights right into downtown Mobile. The big move is simple. They're relocating all passenger service from West Mobile to put the airport closer to the people and to the cruise terminal. We're talking over 100,000 square feet with 5 gates to start with, but the foundation is already there to grow to 12 gates in total. Major carriers like Delta, United, and American have already signed on. The goal is more direct flights and finally getting those ticket prices down, so we don't have to drive all the way to New Orleans or to Pensacola to catch a plane. They're aiming to have the first flights taking off in late 2026. Kind of decided last second to ride down and see the cruise ship. I didn't realize it was boarding day and traffic was quite a mess. Watch out, this 18-wheeler comes slamming through downtown Mobile. Pinto Island is located at the very end of the Mobile River. The building on the left is the AIDT Training Center. It provides company-specific training for the maritime industry. Mobile has a very rich shipbuilding history which goes back centuries. This island has been keeping people in the port city employed for a long, long time. Austal builds aluminum combat ships for the Navy. They have a massive impact on the local economy. They're one of the largest employers in the area. Here you see a new dry dock being fabricated. It really speaks to how well the shipbuilding industry is doing in Mobile. This massive structure is used to lift the ship out of the water so you can do work on the underside of it. Austal's in the process of building a new assembly facility that's going to be used for its steel ships. All that steel will most likely be unloaded right here on the Pinto Island terminal, which is right beside Austal's new facility. Finally, we have the Alabama Shipyards. They specialize in providing maintenance, repair, overhaul, conversions, and shipbreaking services. They do this for both commercial and naval vessels. On the ride home, I saw the F-4 Phantom at the USS Alabama sitting on the ground. Thought they may have taken it down for high winds, but apparently it's being redone to make it look as pristine as possible. This will wrap up the ride portion of this video, but stick around. Wendy's got some gloves she wants to show y'all. She's got to make an appearance at least. If you remember from our last ride of the year, Wendy mentioned she might consider getting some heated gloves.
you can feel your hands. I didn't have heated grips or heated gloves.
So after freezing on the last ride of the year, I was not excited to go on another freezing ride with Matt, but that kind of prompted me to go ahead and bite the bullet, and we ordered me 2 pairs of heated gloves. So one thing you need to know is I'm very peculiar about my gloves. They can't be bulky, they can't be long, and I gotta be able to have flexibility. I gotta be able to use them. So we ordered 2 different brands. One was Warm and Safe, and the other one was California Heat. But the Warm and Safe gloves, they came in first. So they were the first to arrive. They are 12 volt, and there is 14 watts of heat per glove. And I think that's lower than the amps that are on their other gloves. So as you can see, they're advertised as cowhide, breathable, and waterproof. And I'm gonna tell you right out of the box, I really liked them because I liked the way they looked. Inside, it's about smooth and silky. I don't know if you can see, it's got a thin insulation is what they call it, but it makes them feel really good without thick. You can still move your hands. This is a small, which I ordered based off of their measurement guide. It fits spot on, like the tips of my fingers are here. I can move my hands very easily. There's no stiffness, it's not restricted. And to be honest, these look way more expensive than what they really were. So I like that part of it. The only downside, they do not have any of the touchscreen capabilities, which was important for me, but I've decided I'm gonna use a stylus instead for using my phone for the Cardo voice recording and for changing my music out. I've never owned heated gloves before, so I had 0 expectation on the warm-up time. So I plugged them into my Gerber controller, which is what controls my heated jacket. And it took about 5 minutes for these things to get nice and going. But once they did, they were super warm. They warmed up through my fingertips, the top of my hand. But if you can see, they actually heat up your palm, which from what Matt tells me is unusual. So it was really nice, felt really good. These gloves are functional, they're nice looking, I really like them, but we're gonna wait and get the California Heat gloves in, and then I'll do a comparison, so stay tuned.